Google have released a new mid-range version of their brilliant Pixel 3 series, the Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3a XL. These are priced at £399 for the 3a and £469 for the larger XL. Now, the Pixel 3 was one of my favourite handsets from 2018, and I'd still recommend it now. It's got great software, it's got good design, apart from that notch, but at least that notch did hide some very good speakers and an ultra wide angle front camera. But the best thing about the Pixel has got to be the rear facing camera. Probably the only flagship left that still only uses one lens, but it still produces some of the best image quality available on any smartphone. And the good news for the Pixel 3a is that they have kept the same camera system, which is a stroke of genius if you ask me. And I think it's a first. I can't think of any other manufacturer that would put their flagship camera system in their budget model. I suppose only having one lens on their flagship makes it easier to transfer over the tech while still keeping the cost low. But it also probably makes this the most desirable phone in this price bracket. Before I go on, I want to say a big thank you to Direct Mobiles. They have over 24 years of award-winning customer service and comparison tools, so you're bound to find a great deal on your next handset. Just check down in the video description below for a link, or just search directmobiles.co.uk. So it does have the same camera system, and I will come to that in a bit, but let's go over the rest of the phone first. And another really good move from Google is that it almost looks exactly the same as the flagship. You really have to be up on your tech to notice the differences. Here I've got the colours clearly white and just black, which are also available on the Pixel 3, but there is a third colour called purplish, which is a new colour only available for the 3A. Although they look the same, they are made of different materials, plastic as opposed to glass. The screen is still at OLED, which is great for a phone at this price point. Full HD Plus resolution at 1080 by 2040 and with 398 pixels per inch. It's got bigger bezels all around, but no notch, which is a win for some. Personally, I don't mind the bezels, and I would have even been happy if the Pixel 3 had looked like this. As I mentioned before, the camera system is the same as the flagship Pixel 3. Well, it is, apart from the ultra wide angle front camera, which to me isn't really too much of a big deal. I've always thought that they should have put that camera on the rear. But they have kept the same normal 8 megapixel front facing camera from the Pixel 3, which again is one of the best in the business. It's still pretty wide at 24mm and has an f2.0 lens, and can shoot video at 1080p 30 frames per second. It's great that they have kept the high specification 12 megapixel sensor with an f1.8 lens and 1.4 micron pixels. The camera also benefits from dual pixel autofocus. If we look inside the camera app, and the software is almost identical to the Pixel 3, with all the same shooting modes, although Google have introduced time-lapse with this handset. But on the main screen from left to right, we have panorama, and then next to that is the brilliant portrait mode. This mode gives some of the best portrait shots available on any smartphone, and they even rival DSLRs in their quality thanks to Google's camera software. Next to that is camera, the general shooting mode, and then video. The video is extremely impressive with this phone. It shoots up to 4K 30 frames per second stabilized, which is unheard of for most phones, let alone mid-range phones. The dual pixel autofocus also works extremely well, and it makes it really easy to make very impressive videos. And then under the More tab, we still get the functions like slow motion, where you can shoot at 1/4 speed or 1/8 the speed, as well as the excellent Playground augmented reality app, and Google's night sight feature, which again works just as well as the more expensive Pixel 3, which is something that can't be said for other manufacturers. Night mode is included in almost every other Huawei phone, but on the mid-range models it's nowhere near as good as the flagships. This phone is also one of the few phones in this price range that has stereo speakers, and they sound really good. They don't have quite as much bass as the Pixel 3, but it does have a good mid-range and high-end and a great clarity of sound. It is easy to see why everyone is saying that this is the best mid-range phone that money can buy at the moment. But of course there are compromises when compared to the Pixel 3. Although the screen is OLED and it's a nice screen, it is heavily bezeled. And someone coming from a full screen device might not be so happy about that. But other than that and the plastic construction, the only other differences are under the skin. The processor is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 670 running at 2 GHz. It's got 4 GB of RAM and has 64 GB of internal storage. There's no dual SIMs, but it does support eSIMs. No expandable storage, although you will get free unlimited cloud storage from Google. The Active Edge function is also here, which allows you to squeeze the edges of the phone to call your Google Assistant, and it is actually surprisingly useful. I do use it quite a lot. You can adjust the amount of pressure needed to activate it, which is a good idea if you're going to use it with a case, such as this one I have here. The case I'm using here is the Rhino Shield Solid Suit. Now these are military grade drop resistant cases, which provide excellent protection from falls of up to 11 feet. If you take a look inside the USB, you can see how thick these cases are and how much protection they actually offer. If I take it out of the case, you can see the honeycomb structure underneath, which should do a really good job of absorbing the impact. This one is just plain with carbon fiber finish to the back, but what's nice about Rhino Shield is that you can customize the look by going to the website and selecting from the range of designs. They've kindly sent me a bunch of different cases for the Pixel 3a and for the P30 series, and I'll do an unboxing of those, so look out for that. The battery life is great with this phone. The battery capacity for the Pixel 3a XL is 3700 mAh, and for the Pixel 3 is 3000 mAh. A nice little added bonus that you don't get with the Pixel 3 is a 3.5mm headphone jack, which I know is going to seal the deal for some people. I suppose the most noticeable difference here really is the build quality. Actually, that's not fair. I should really say the build materials. Being made of plastic, it is slightly lighter, and some people would argue that the plastic is actually a better material as it's less likely to break. I think although that may be true, in my experience plastic is also easier to scratch, so over time it could become scuffed up quite easily. But the feel in the hand is almost the same, and it looks great in whatever material it's made from. I really think that Google have played a blinder here. In my opinion, this is a strong contender for phone of the year. It's got best in class camera and sound. Okay, that screen isn't an edge-to-edge masterpiece, but it is OLED and it does the job very well. This is definitely my favourite mid-range phone at the moment, and the main reason for that is that camera. You got to realise that this is not just a flagship level camera, this is one of the best cameras, if not the best camera. I've started putting together a full comparison between this and the P30 Lite, but I'm starting to realise that maybe a fairer contest would be against the P30 Pro. It really is that good. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Stay tuned for more on the Pixel 3a. I might even do that comparison between this and the P30 Pro. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that subscribe button, double tap the notifications and smash the like button. More tech reviews and comparisons on the way. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. It's at Btekt, or add me on Snapchat, david.btekt. Thanks for watching. My name's David and this is Btekt.